For a brief moment in time, the Island Boys looked vaguely capable of having a sustainable career. After all, their initial buzz skyrocketed them to the top of everyone's social media feed, pulling in 222 million views on their YouTube videos and over 2 billion views on TikTok alone. But as their true colors began to show, it quickly became clear that their time in the spotlight was running out. From one incident to the other, it seemed like any moment could be their last in the limelight, leading Jack Doherty of all people being the one who predicted their future.
All right, Island Boys, what are we about to do?
We're about to feed the homeless right now. Yes, sir. Come on, let's get it.
Look, they're getting fed right now.
As now, less than a year on from that little jibe being sent their way, they're now at rock bottom, and one of them has literally wound up in the gutter.
He's getting evicted. He hasn't paid a bill. Even his mom would tell me before.
And listen, that's another problem on why you don't use.
He's brought Alex's credit down so much while we're in the middle of looking for a house, and it's not even his fault. It's his brother's fault because his brother hasn't paid his car in 4 months, and we could show you guys the voicemails of the car people calling him every single day saying, "Where is a payment?"
However, if you take a look back at how they handled their career, it'd be difficult to make the claim that they didn't earn this fate. It's your boy Louaista, and this is how the Island Boys wound up homeless. And as it turns out, they're basically back to where they started. Born Frank and Alex Venegas, these twins were always in trouble with the law and involved in crimes ranging from theft to drug possession back in the day. Eventually, this led to their mother kicking them out at the tender age of 18. During this whole time frame, they were trying their best to go viral, tatting themselves up to the hilt and making music. And in terms of aesthetic, that was a major investment.
How much did you spend on all your tattoos? I spent around 30K, and I'm only 20. I'm turning 21 on July 16th, so yeah, I got tatted pretty fast, man.
But it all amounted to very little until suddenly, they were catapulted to fame by one solitary video that everyone's seen countless times by now.
I'm a just island boy. I'm a just island boy. I'm gonna get key white wine. You're gonna keep that gun. I'll be just staring at the sun. I'm just out fool gazing.
Straight away, this video was everywhere, inspiring a whole host of reactions. However, not all of them were good. In fact, the vast majority of them veered towards disgust.
I seen it with the gang slang. You ain't
gang, they got to use that word. I'm speechless. Two goofballs in the pool.
You know why I'm not speechless?
Why?
Because I'm an island. What is happening?
I don't know and ain't trying to understand it.
Damn it.
What's understood don't need to be explained.
This became a common theme, as they would soon realize how much their entire shtick didn't translate beyond TikTok when they actually stepped out into the real world. During their live performance at Club Live in Miami, the brothers were unceremoniously booed off stage.
I'ma keep it like it's all I want. Said I'm going to better keep that gun. I'ma do it while I'm staring at the sun. I've been really at the pool gazing. And the pool where I'm staying. I'll pull it like a super saiyan. Trying to be the greatest. Why they trying to be his fan.
And how the crowd reacted set the tone for how the world would react to the footage. This is what a reality check looks like. They have a single 30-second song and they can't get it right. But even as the disdain for them rose among audiences, the Island Boys continued to believe that they'd made it and that the only way was up from here. And in interviews, they maintained that they were stacking up millions.
How much money did y'all have at that time? Were y'all broke? At that time?
$10,000.
I ain't have much. I was
hustling.
I was 8 to 10 bands.
So the video goes viral. Like, when do you realize your life changes after that?
Bro, we were making $40,000 a day. More than that. I'm not even playing with you.
Yeah.
60.
We was
60.
looking at the thing. It says
the top of it said you got $60,000 to do.
To make.
Then the next day we would do that. The next day another 60,000. We're like, man, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
We didn't believe it.
At the time, it seemed like they were intent on making the most of the buzz they had and felt like it'd last forever. But this same ignorance was exactly what would become their undoing. Because by the looks of it, they were the only ones who didn't realize they were a meme. And if there's one thing that you know about those internet crazes, they don't last forever. Back when they were making more money than they ever had, the Island Boys failed to see the reality of their situation. As rather than people being genuinely interested in them or their music, they were just mercilessly laughed at. And then, when what little audience their actual music had began to wilt, the Island Boys became desperate to monetize whatever they could, no matter the cost or what it did to them. Among the main things that they soon realized was that they needed any exposure they could get. So the duo increasingly became a gimmick. Soon, they began to argue with one another online, manufacturing fake feuds just to try and generate some momentum.
I'm a targeted individual. You don't like it because you know target. Red, you want to be just like me. Boys. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. I made Island Boys. I'm the one that told you let's get in the Airbnb, and I'm the one that made the actual bars. Okay. You're a hater. You see, you talk.
Then, they tried to open up other revenue streams, namely their Cameo account, where they routinely lashed out at their fans for leaving bad reviews.
You guys are not feeling there, man, a promotion at work because you aren't qualified? Sucks for you. It sucks for you. You're not qualified. You're not good enough.
And while this is still active, it's a real case study of how much the interest has declined. Because where they were initially selling them for $135, the value has now dropped to $60. And unfortunately for them, they probably need more money than anything. During their brief run of profitability, the Island Boys showed off impressive levels of financial literacy. Because at that time, it seemed like the moment they got anything into their bank account, they spent it almost instantly. Although it's not exactly clear how much they spent, financial expert Graham Stephan estimated how much they dished out on jewelry alone, and the numbers are crazy.
All right, so far what I could tell in terms of their resale value of their jewelry, they're wearing $94,000 worth of jewelry. That would be the resale value. And then let's assume that they have another $50,000 worth of other stuff that they're just not including in this. So let's just say they have about $150,000 worth of collectible assets for each of them. So that's how much they have in jewelry, approximately, unless they're just not showing off what else they have.
Besides that, they weren't moving wisely either, and it all came down to a naive sense that they could keep riding this wave. This misplaced belief in themselves is what led them to turn down a deal with Kodak Black's Sniper Gang label that would have at least provided them with an advance.
He said he wanted to sign me like 10 times, like I'm a John Hancock this. He want him to like do weird things, like not weird things, but cut his hair. He got mad at me or something like that or something because he stopped like having the same type of energy right when he told me, I want you to cut your wigs off because I'm gonna cut my wigs off.
But from renting a luxurious crib, Bentleys, and regularly flaunting cash, their whole image became about money, to the point that they got very obnoxious with it, meaning that even those who initially wanted these kids to win would eventually change their tune.
Are you guys the Island Boys?
Yeah, but we're paying for something real quick. We're paying for something. How much was it?
Okay, your total is $534.97.
Okay.
And this only worsened when they refused to take advice, maintaining a false sense of security that they had everything under control. This came about most infamously during their appearance on the Impulsive podcast. In the latter stages of the interview, George Jenko implied that maybe buying jewelry could be assets in the future, only for them to take issue with it and eventually storm off. Thing to do. After all, it meant more clicks.
So I wanted to ask you the question, like, do you guys regret walking off that podcast?
No, I wouldn't regret it. I went probably 5 times more viral than in that podcast than I probably would have if I just would have had like a regular sit down and talk.
And soon, they'd be getting plenty of attention, but for all the wrong reasons, as each incident only chipped away at their already crumbling credibility. Just look at their infamous trip to Johnny Dang's when Kodiak Red was sunned by Sauce Waka, leading his entire gangster image to evaporate almost immediately in the face of a genuine threat.
You know what I mean? I'm way more known. You're not way more known than me, nothing. You a peon, your jewelry fake, you a pussy, and I was slapping. Stop trying to
I ain't argue with you.
I'm a real gangster. You was a hoe.
Yeah?
Yes.
But if that got them clowned, it would get much, much worse when they crossed a line.
100% thought they were gonna kiss at the end. So y'all think that it's cool to think about boys kissing each other? And twins too at it? Y'all into the incest and stuff? Look, we came from the same womb, but we don't think like that. You feel me? We're not like that at all. Stop thinking like that. It's weird. Then don't worry about that stuff. Yeah.
By July 5th, 2023, the duo launched an OnlyFans where their most loyal fans could pay to see their explicit content. However, things got pretty dark when the pair started enlisting an incest angle to boost the sales, and I really wish I was joking. This was enough to leave normal people and even Adam22 disgusted.
Your twin brother, I mean, that's a lot. That's like, to me, that's just like kind of this one sacred thing that I don't even know any female twins or female sisters that hook up with each other. And I know a bunch of sisters who are in porn, but not that hook up with each other. Like, that's a line that they won't cross.
And even though it was pretty indefensible behavior that wouldn't be tolerated anywhere, never mind a culture like hip-hop, they basically said that they were tempted into it by the cash.
We started off by just showing us like with our underwear on Twitter, and they're like, people were like, it was almost like they're like, you guys won't kiss. And I thought about it like for a couple days, and I'm like, wait, that'd be a good idea. Like something to talk about, because people really don't like us. So like, hey, look, we got something on them. They kissed each other. So we kind of knew it would go viral.
With that, any hope that they could have been taken seriously was gone forever. And just as they were sacrificed their last shred of credibility, the financial issues started racking up too, leading them to the ruinous scenario that they're in now. As their income began to dry up, things got even darker for the Island Boys, because not only did they basically dry up their revenue streams with their behavior, they reportedly had a lot of outstanding debts, including to their manager, who revealed how dire their situation had become.
They did poker dirty.
Crazy, yeah.
They did you dirty? How?
Yeah, they owe me about like $150,000.
From what? Your percentage of the cameo money?
Yeah.
Is that the only money they're bringing in?
Mostly, maybe a little bit on TikTok, but I mean, it's pretty much run dry at this point.
Right. How many fucking cameos are they doing?
When I was with them, they was coming in hot.
They were viral as fuck.
They was going like 2-3 hours a night straight cameos, but like that's literally their only source of income.
Yeah, because that doesn't feel like it's gonna last forever.
Pretty much they're canceled everywhere. Like they can't really go outside like that. There's a bunch of lawsuits on them now too.
For real?
Everyone's coming after them. This guy from Chicago.
You're suing them too.
Bought a contract or something. Like they don't want to go to court. I got them like a really, really good attorney that's charging them like $1,200 an hour, and he's raping them. Like,
well, also too, like, did they like cut their hair because they had lice?
Nah, I think that was cat.
Okay. Well, hey, man. Yeah. Also too though,
I think that was cat. I think they were just trying to go re-viral, the same thing they did with the Island Girls thing, but it flopped.
Yeah.
Completely.
Wow.
Right now, there's no more money coming in.
As well as this instance that they were in trouble, their actions began to make that even clearer. Soon, they would become regulars on Jack Doherty's stream, where they were routinely mocked by one of the most hated men on the internet. And whenever he could, Doherty would drop little hints that their financial situation was dire.
Look at the back of this crib. I don't know, you can't afford it?
I can't afford it?
It's good for your face.
Come here, Island Boy.
I can't afford this? I was gonna live in this house with you and I was gonna put stupid money up for this house.
Can you afford 70 bands a month now?
What are you talking about, bro? I get money. Why are you puck watching?
I was just asking. If you ever want to, stay, we can give you a closet.
And as their crash outs intensified, it reached the point where they got into a scrap where they were accused of hitting his girlfriend.
At least if I come out with a tape, at least I could actually, like, I don't know, flex tape.
Yeah, but too bad it's with your brother. How can you flex it if it's with your brother? Your mom films the videos of you guys kissing. You probably make your mom go, Mom, can you hold this, please? I'll pay your rent.
Don't talk about
Oh my God, bro.
Don't go there.
But don't take everything so serious. If you said that,
I've been chilling.
It's all jokes. Like,
ugly. You're just like the CEO of that company that you promote.
You guys worked for me at a point.
Yo, I'm right next to you.
Stop. Hey. Actually dead ass.
Brad, it's not worth it.
Fucking try, dumbass. No. Nice try. There's a girl in the car, you fucking dumbass. Yo, there's a girl. You're kicking her.
This is everything the Island Boys have become. As opposed to being known as artists, they're just another two vaguely notorious internet figures within a marketplace that's already full of them. And without growing their platform, they've been reduced to picking up any scraps that they can get their hands on. Ultimately, the whole thing was never sustainable. Now 3 years on from the release of Island Boy, the pair have become nothing short of a laughingstock. Even Fly Soja's girlfriend's father knows it, and expressed his disapproval of their relationship, prompting Fly to mock him online and put the whole family drama on blast for the world to see.
Kayla, how do your parents feel that you're with me?
I don't know because I don't get to talk to them.
Why don't they talk to you?
My dad hasn't talked to me since I got the neck tattoo.
He called me a loser. Hey, by the way, if the dad's watching this, do I make a lot of money?
I talk to my mom here and there, but our relationship is always like
Do you like your dad or mom better?
My dad.
Alright, Dad, step up, bro.
Purely known for drama rather than their discography, the pair have learned nothing from those arrogant early days from their career and have continued to be as obnoxious as ever. When his girlfriend Kayla was pregnant, Fly Soja made jokes about having to break up with her if she didn't bounce back and lose the weight. And sadly, he is so devoted to social media that even when his newborn baby was in the NICU, he couldn't put the phone down. As for his brother Kodiak Red, he's struggling even more. A little while ago, he narrowly evaded jail for driving-related offenses.
Yeah, traffic citation. You must have got a ticket and not paid it, man.
What?
It says December.
Like this December?
I think so. I think it was this year, last year.
And since then, it's been revealed that he's running low on funds to the effect that he isn't paying his car, which has apparently had a knock-on effect on his brother.
And it's not even his fault, it's his brother's fault because his brother hasn't paid his car in 4 months. And we could show you guys the voicemails of the car people calling him every single day saying, where is a payment? And it's under his name. We can't figure out if it's the cosign or the main one, but Alex's name is a part of it and he has not paid it. And it's affecting him now, which is affecting us and our family because we had some issues trying to get a house.
With his brother reportedly hooked on drugs, things are looking dark, and the duo should really be leaning on each other more than ever. Instead, he says the only out for Kodiak is if he commits to change.
Someone said that your brother has a problem and you need to help him. I already talked about this earlier. I said he's got to be willing to want to help himself. I already tried to help him, remember? I marshman him.
And he called last night.
And that wasn't cheap.
When he called his mom last night, it was out of genuine concern and like hurt and wanting to help. And then like everyone just, this is what happened today from him doing that.
Amid all the drama, the two have been at war against one another online, with crazy accusations flying out, including Kodiak, who claimed that his brother's baby mama was taking drugs while pregnant, leading to the child's current medical state.
She did not do one substance while she was pregnant. And our baby's not a NICU because of any substance.
I even told them that
he's not with y'all.
It was something with nicotine that would affect his lungs, that would affect his internal. He's having a blockage here. He's probably gonna have to get a surgery right here.
I said that his baby looks like a mannequin doll, and you know what he says to me back? Where's your baby? Why aren't you holding your baby? Your baby's in the NICU? Like almost like taunting and laughing at me about it.
As for Kodiak, he has refuted the notion that he's still on drugs or homeless, claiming that he's sober and has been since the end of last year.
As you can see, I've been sober from December 6th, says Frankie on it, with the IE, all the way to the 29th. So I've been sober for 23 days. You could congratulate me because that's a mental illness, what I was going through, because I was doing it a lot every day, or you could just hate on it.
Crazily, he also maintains that he's in no financial difficulty, routinely taking to TikTok to post images of his crib and Lambo that he is no longer permitted to drive.
Bro is driving without a license. Bro, I'm so P with it. I got my girl driving, dog. I don't know what you're talking about, man.
But despite these claims, he's still asking for housewarming gifts from his fans in a move that isn't exactly making it seem like cash isn't an issue.
By the way, we have the link in the bio, so y'all tap in. The link's gonna be in the bio for housewarming gifts to send us anything on our wish list on Amazon, and we're gonna give everybody a shout out on video and live.
And because of how they acted during their brief come up, it's safe to say that they aren't exactly getting a lot of sympathy. Instead, the vast majority of people seem to think this is precisely what they deserved, and that they mocked people who worked regular jobs. Now they can't even afford basic things. What a joke. They spent years bragging about their riches and insulting people. Now they're broke and begging. Poetic justice. Seemingly at war, it should have been noted that these two posted on TikTok together as late as December 2024, which means that in reality, this alleged animosity might just be another ill-advised ploy for attention from the two. Because as we've seen before, there's really no lengths they won't go to in order to hold on to those last morsels of fame. Despite everything, Kodiak is teasing new music and restored the duo's infamous Wix hairstyle. As for his brother, Fly seems to be focusing on turning him and his girl into TikTok stars. But they're learning the hard way that once you lose an audience's attention or sympathy, it's pretty much impossible to get back. And now, they probably wish they had a different attitude back when they were all too briefly stars. It's your boy Louaista, and if you guys enjoyed this video, I would appreciate if you guys liked and subscribed, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.